How y'all doing? My name's Taj, and today we're here to talk about what is narcissism. A lot of people kind of throw the term out: narcissism, narcissist this, narcissist that. I've gone through traumatic experiences with narcissistic abuse. I'm in a relationship with a narcissist, and I don't think some people know exactly what narcissism is. There's different forms of narcissism, and for any form of narcissism, the basis of narcissism is that someone has a inflated, superior view of themselves, which causes that person to act in a manner to where they value their self-worth more than they do valuing their relations that they have with others, which derives from the story of Narcissus, who rejected all female romantic advances to ultimately die staring at a reflection of his own beauty. To love yourself more than you can love others. So the basis of narcissism is that a person that has narcissism or narcissistic traits would be operating from a manner to where they're only operating off of self. In order to be a narcissist, you must not have empathy. You must not have an awareness to how anyone else feels other than yourself, because you look at others as less than you. Because in order for you to feel a great sense of self, you have to have an ego. And in order to fulfill that ego and to sustain that ego, which is a identity you created for yourself, in order to have a secure self-worth, you must see others as less, to not see yourself as less than others. So the whole point is that in order for someone to actually be narcissistic, and to, more importantly, a narcissistic abuser, that person must be totally operating from a standpoint to where they have no empathy for others, because they have too much empathy applying to themselves, to the point where everything that they do is with intent to satisfy and only benefit themselves and never others. Continuing on with my video about narcissism, another element about narcissism is that narcissists are about self. But I don't think the narcissist fully understands themselves. So they take on the identity of themselves that's over-exaggerated. Because also within the story of Narcissist also believed himself to be better in a sense to where his vanity made him fall in love with his own reflection, which would prove that he wasn't a god. He was a product of gods. He was still human. He was still killable. He was still flawed. Although he seemed perfect. And the thing about perfection is that perfection isn't really always about being authentic. Because to be authentic means to be likable in one sense in one place, but maybe not so favorable in another. And accepting that. And narcissists try to be very perfect. And because they try to be perfect to fulfill this self-glorified image of this ego that they have, they must try to have power and control. So what happens when you don't feel as though you have power and control within yourself? You try to take it from others, which this builds the dynamic called narcissistic supply, which is the narcissist's way of going after others that have qualities within themselves that they desire. And once those desires or those qualities have been used up, the narcissist goes to another to fulfill those desires. And this derives from going for others that have the things that we want. but possibly don't have or think we can get. Because also in the story of Narcissus, he had a twin sister named Echo. And Echo, in order, funny enough, as I said, it's his twin, looks exactly like him. Echo died, and it probably was the saddest moment of Narcissus' life because he lost someone that he felt matched his ideal beauty, matched something that he can relate to the point where he rejected everything else, every other romantic advances, because he felt that it was not enough. But the curse that he got was the next time he seen a reflection of himself, he would stare at it. And ironically, he fell in love with himself, which is also a reflection of his identical twin sister that he lost, because that's the only thing that can satisfy his desire. The narcissist is all about self, but it's all about desire to have. And sometimes to get what you want, you have to do things beyond the consideration of others to get it. So a narcissist will try to control you. And the only forms of it is whether it's done in a direct way, whether that's physical, verbal, or a covert way, whether that's mental, emotional, spiritual.